In this video, we will cover the following topics: opening Excel and SPSS files in the SPSS Data Viewer, modifying data in the SPSS Data Viewer, setting variable properties in the SPSS Variable Viewer, saving SPSS data from the SPSS Data Viewer, and saving and exporting SPSS output to PDF from the SPSS Output window. Optionally, you can also use the SAT 2016 PA data file in SPSS.sav format. It's optional because you can always convert the SAT 2016 PA data file in Excel format to SPSS format. Let's begin by opening up SPSS to a blank SPSS data viewer. Here you can see the basic outline of a spreadsheet with variables along the columns and cases down the rows. To open a data file in SPSS, we click File, Open, Data. The Open Data dialog window allows you to change the file type. By default, it'll only search for SPSS files that have the extension .sav or extension .zsav. If I want to open an Excel file, I need to click the Files of Type dialog and change it to Excel. Now the Open Data Viewer will show Excel files. Here I'm going to open the SAT 2016 PA.xlsx file. When you click to open the Excel file, you'll get an input dialog box that allows you to set some parameters. Here I'm asking SPSS to read the variable names from the first row of data. It'll also ignore hidden rows and columns. Once again, for our SPSS data viewer, the variable names are along the columns and the cases are along the rows. Each row by default has a case number. Alternatively, you can simply open the file same display in this SPSS data viewer. The SPSS data view is editable. You can edit any cell entry by clicking on the cell and then modifying or typing in the box above the spreadsheet. For example, perhaps I want to change this cell entry from Bermudan Springs SD to Bermudan Springs School District. I can simply delete the text for SD and retype the text for school district. I can record my entry by hitting the Enter key, which now changes the text in the Data View tab. SPSS also has a Variable View tab, which is at the bottom of the window. You can access the Variable View tab by clicking the label. The Variable View tab provides information about how the data in each variable is formatted. The first column provides the name of the variable, as you see in the column headings in the Data View tab. Second, the Variable View tab lists the type. Most commonly, you'll see string or numeric. String refers to a type of variable where you can have alphanumeric characters, essentially where you have letters. When you specify the type to numeric, you can only have numeric characters. Width includes the number of characters that are allowed within the variable. So here county has an allowable width of 14 characters. AUN has a width of 9 numeric characters. You can specify the number of decimals. You can specify a label, which expands on your definition of the variable. And here, if you have nominal or ordinal variables, you can click to specify values. For example, here you can see 3 dots next to the values. By clicking this icon, you can open up the Value Labels dialog box, which allows you to specify a value on a label. Here I've already filled in the 8 labels for the 8 values that are possible for region. 1 Great Lakes and Erie, 2 Pennsylvania Wilds, 3 Susquehanna Valley, 4 Northeast Mountains Poconos, 5 Pittsburgh Laurel Highlands, 6 Allegheny Mountains and Valleys, 7 PA Dutch Amish Country, and 8 Philadelphia Lehigh Valley. If there were a 9th value, I could add it by clicking 9 for my value and then giving a label. simply perhaps other. I can add it, and now I've added a 9th value. Since there is no 9, I'm simply going to remove it here with the remove option. You can do some other things here in SPSS's variable view by specifying missing, columns, the alignment, whether you want the values to appear on the left or right, and the measure. The measure has 3 options: nominal, ordinal, and scale. So very much similar to our levels of measurement, you can tell SPSS whether you have a nominal variable, an ordinal variable, or a continuous variable, which is defined as scale. Once you have modified your file, either by editing data in the Data View tab, setting variable properties in the Variable View tab, or both, you can save your file as an SPSS data file by clicking File, Save As, and then specifying that you want to save your variable as spssstatistics.sav. You can also export to various other file formats, including comma delimited and Excel. Finally, which will be important later, aside from the Data View and Variable View tabs, SPSS produces a second window whenever you execute commands. This is the output window. If you're using Microsoft Windows, you'll find that as a separate window available on your taskbar. On Mac, you can access the Output tab by clicking your SPSS icon, and here you'll have your available windows, including Output. The output window will produce any graphs, figures, tables, or commands that you've executed during your SPSS session. Here, I haven't done anything other than open the files in SPSS. In order to save these files as a file format that is readable across machines, it's advisable to export this as a PDF. To save the file, you can go File, Save, or File, Save As. By default, this will save your file as a SPSS viewer file with a .spv extension. SPV files are only openable by SPSS. Alternatively, for your file submissions for this course, please go to File, Export, and here you can specify to export as a portable document format. Here I'm going to name this demo export.pdf and save it to my desktop. Now that the export's complete, I should be able to find the file on my desktop. And here it is as a PDF file that's ready for submission. This concludes our short video on how to open and manage files in SPSS.